Hey everybody, Unstable Gamer here, and welcome back to the channel. In this video, we've got a lot of content to go over. We're going to be looking at the top 10 best characters in the game, and we're going to be looking at a full tier list. Now, both of those you're going to want to definitely take a look at because they both have their purposes when it comes to collecting characters in this game. We're a week into this game now. I figured now is probably the best time to come out with this because you're pretty familiar with the game. So we're going to go ahead and dive into that. The top 10 and a full tier list of characters and spells. But first, before we do, if you're just now finding this channel and you want to stay up to date with this and other games, consider hitting that subscribe button so you don't miss out. All right, and welcome back. So let's go ahead and just dive into this. There's a lot of content here, so I want to try and make it as condensed as possible so that it is beneficial to you and you can get through it fairly quickly. I will leave links in the description below as far as who the top 10 are, as well as a link directly to the full tier list so you can take a look at that. Now, there's a difference between the top 10 and the full tier list. The top 10 is based on the top 10 best characters that you can collect and invest in that's going to help you in multiple ways in the game, not just who the best is. Now, the tier list, when you take a look at the top 10, the tier list is going, or the top 10 is going to consist of characters from C all the way up to S. And that's because they all serve a function in here. And we're going to talk about each one of those as we go through these top 10 characters. And then we're going to go ahead and jump into that tier list, again, of characters and spells. So first and foremost, let's go ahead and jump into the characters right here. So top 10, for the most part, is going to be most of these characters here at the top of my list. But there are some just a little bit further down. So first, we're going to go into Aladdin. Aladdin is a fantastic, great character. He is, if you take a look at his stats here, he's Kingdom, so he fits into that Kingdom team that you can put together with Shan Yu, which is very, very important. It's a very cool team to go ahead and put together. Also, he's useful, of course, for his own event, and he's needed to unlock Jasmine and then ultimately unlock Jafar, so definitely useful in multiple areas of the game. I use him still as part of my main team for almost every part of the game, in campaign and arena and tower and everything. So fantastic character, definitely want to put work into him. Next is going to be Ariel, one of the best healers in the entire game. Fantastic. She's got a good leader skill here. If we take a look at that right here, teammates gain 8% bonus to maximum health. It doesn't have to be any specific type of teammate, just any of your teammates, so it doesn't have to be downtown or kingdom or whatever. Also, she is an oceanic character and is going to be helpful in the tower, as well as she's got this new princess title, so I don't know if that's going to come into play as far as something that's needed in the game or an event that might be coming up, but she's good to use in the tower. She's good to use. I use it pretty much everywhere as well, in campaign and my PvP as well. I like having a healer on PvP, and she does a decent amount of damage. She has a debuff, which is awesome. So she works out really well. Next is Gaston, one of the best tanks in the game, in my opinion. If we take a look at him, he's Kingdom as well, which is awesome. I use him, again, in multiple aspects of the game. He'll work with your Kingdom team. He'll also work with the Towers of Endurance as well. And then Beauty and the Beast. We don't have the Beast in this game or some other characters, so it could be that he might be needed for a special type of event or something there. So definitely worth putting into, especially since you get him really early on in the game. I would not worry about getting him up to 7 stars and maxing him out as much as you can. By the way, considering stars and gear level, my strategy in the beginning was to get all of these characters up to star 5 and gear 5. And the reason for that is because you don't have to take everybody to gear 6 or gear 7. You'll need those later on in the game, way in the end game, when you're trying to get to those final couple battles in some of the events. But a great starting point is to get these top 10 to 5 stars in gear tier 5. So Buzz is the next one. Buzz, he's a little bit further down when you take a look at him on the tier list, but he's needed for the Toy Story event. Also, if we take a look at this in here, he's a downtown character. Downtown characters are used for, I believe it was for a recent event. I think it was for Zurg. where you needed downtown characters for that. So definitely used in multiple events, and obviously the Toy Story event, where you can get unlock Bo Peep. And then I don't use him so much in PvP anymore. I use him mainly to get through Hero Campaign, and then the Tower of Defense, and obviously the events. Definitely worth putting into. Next is going to be Demona. Demona, the biggest thing, the thing I love about her, so I love the Gargoyles cartoon, obviously a great cartoon, at least from my point of view. But she's a downtown character, so she's used for the downtown event. Also Queen's Clash, so she's used for the Queen's Clash event that has come up, where we've unlocked the Queen of Hearts. So definitely useful in multiple events. She's useful in the tower. So definitely good to put into. She has a nice AoE attack. She also has some nice assists when you take a look at her kit. So definitely someone you want to go ahead and take up to at least 5-star and gear tier 5. I'm working on maxing her out because I think she's going to come in handy in the later parts of those two events. Again, a character that is useful in multiple game modes, and she's fun to play. All right, next one is going to be Big Bad Wolf. Great character. If we just go to this again, Downtown and Queen's Clash again, a character that you're going to need for multiple events. Also very good for Tower of Endurance as well. Good for the villain campaign, and a nice AoE attack, a nice self-heal. Works out very well, so you cannot go wrong by leveling this guy up. Next is going to be Mickey. Mickey is a great character, just straight from the beginning. Nice damage, and part of the kingdom character team as well. So definitely someone that you can feel confident that you're putting all your resources into this character, and it's going to be worthwhile. So definitely a good character to level up as well. All right, so that's what we've got. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's 7. We got 3 more to go. Dr. Facilier is next. Now, this guy kind of creeped up. It caught me by surprise. A great character. If you take a look at his tags here, so Downtown and Queen's Clash, again, useful in multiple events as well as your Towers of Endurance. Best villain healer in the game. Yzma, not so good. You get her really early on, and you're going to use her as you work through the villain campaign. But as soon as you can unlock this guy, you're going to want to, and you're going to want to gear him up to at least unlock this, which I believe is gear tier 4. I believe 4 or 5. It doesn't tell me over here anymore. But this one specifically, restore 15% bonus health per downtown villain teammate. So part of there's a number of the top 10 that have the downtown tag. But on opponent or teammate being defeated, restore health to this character and to all teammates. So that comes in really handy. Awesome character to go ahead and get up to at least gear tier 5 and 5-star. But again, you're going to want to work through that 6th and 7th star to finish out the rest of that campaign. Next is going to be Shan Yu. Now, we've talked about the Kingdom campaign, and the reason why we're talking about that is because of Shan Yu's leader skill here. Kingdom teammates gain 8% bonus speed. Once you get this unlocked, that's awesome. Speed in these types of turn-based games we've discussed before, the more speed you have, the more attacks that you get in, the more times you can slow down your opponent, the less attacks they get in. It's a great stat bonus for this Kingdom team, and it's a great team to have. You unlock in the exchange. You can't farm him from a specific node or anything like that. He's the first character that I suggest that you unlock from that exchange. And then we go to the next one. Then I would suggest unlocking Mordu. Mordu, fantastic tank. Really good. If you take a look at his tags here, so Wilds, obviously defense. Wilds is going to be really good for you in the Towers of Endurance. I believe it starts in the tower, the 4th tower, where you're going to need the Wilds. So fantastic tank, does very well. And if you haven't seen the guide that I put together, I'll go ahead and link it up right over there. However, first unlock Shan Yu. As soon as you unlock him, unlock Mordu, and then work on leveling Shan Yu to 5 stars, and then work on getting Mordu up to 5 stars. Once you're done with that, I would work on Hades. Hades is a fantastic character, not necessarily needed for any other events in the game yet. Now, we don't have Zeus unlocked. It's possible that you might need him for that. However, he's a great character. He just isn't used in multiple aspects of the game like these characters are, especially used when unlocking other characters and things like that. So Mordu, there you go. That should be your 5. So your top 10 is Aladdin, Ariel, Gaston, Buzz, Demona, Big Bad Wolf, Sorcerer Apprentice Mickey, Dr. Facilier, Shan Yu, and Mordu. Solid characters to definitely work on. Now, let's go ahead. We're going to go ahead and take a look at the tier list, and we're going to talk a little bit about some of the characters in there and why they're not on the top 10. Again, some of them are more end result type characters. So let's go ahead and jump over to there right now. All right, so here we go. This is the Discord, the official Discord for Disney Sorcerers Arena. If you're not on this Discord, I would highly suggest it. There's a ton of people here giving a lot of great advice about the game. Specifically, we're going to take a look at the tier list here. Now, the character tier list here by Ludgate, Danny, Diemaker, and Blitzkrieg BW, with a lot of input from the community as well. They've done a great job putting a fantastic list together. So I reached out to Ludgate and I said, hey, would you mind if I go ahead and show your tier list here? And he said that was cool. So I want to make sure to give credit to the people who put in the work to put this tier list together. We have this, and then also we're going to go over really quickly the spell tier list here, thanks to Danny and Blitzkrieg BW as well, along with community feedback. So this is a list we're going to go over. You go to the Discord, you go to character discussion, and it's in there. So let's go ahead and take a look at this. All right. So if you take a look at the top, you have Shan Yu, Mordu, Hades, and Zurg. Now Shan Yu and Mordu we've already discussed in the top 10. Definitely want to work on them. Hades, I would work on him 3rd, again, like I said, in the exchange. Now Zurg is a fantastic character. I love that guy. He is fun to watch in battle. You do need Toy Story characters to unlock him. The reason why he's not in the top 10 is because he's more of an end game type character to obtain and not necessarily used across multiple facets of the game, at least yet. So there is your S tier, those 4 characters there. Now, if we take a look at our A tier, you can see Sorcerer, Mickey, Aladdin, Big Bad Wolf. You have three of the top 10 there as well. These other characters are fantastic characters, and it is nice to see Ian, Barley, and Manticore in the A tier. They are a great team together, and I've put them with a couple other characters. So I put that team together with Jack Skellington and Sally, because there's some synergy between Manticore and, oh man, one of the tags that those guys have, Mythical. I think it's Mythical. And it's just a fun team to play around with. So there you go there, Judy Hopps. All these characters are great. Now, if we go to the B tier, you also have Buzz and Ariel and Demona. Again, 3 more of the top 10 that are in there. Now, as a reminder, remember, the reason why they're top 10 is because they're used in multiple areas of the game, events, towers of endurance, PvP. They have multiple uses in the game. Now, this tier list here, again, a great job by Ludgate, Danny, Diemaker, and Blitzkrieg, because before this one just came out, so this is an updated list from one that I was looking at previously, and actually I showed on a live stream back this last Saturday. There was some adjustments I would have made, and it's funny because the adjustments were actually made here, so I really liked it. And then if you go down to your C tier, we have Dr. Facilier and we have Gaston that are down there that round out that top 10. Again, the top 10 consisting of C tier all the way up to S tier characters because they're great across multiple facets of the game. This is a great list. I would definitely use this as far as characters and things that you want to really go for and build towards. So again, your Toy Story characters you're going to need to build, even though Toy Story is not in the top 10. You're going to want to build some of those characters so you can unlock Zurg. Your Aladdin characters and things like that. If we take a look at the D tier, some of these characters used to be really good early on in the beta. Like Horn King used to be fantastic. Sergeant Calhoun used to be awesome, and they've kind of been knocked down a little bit. Scar, I really haven't been a fan of the Lion King characters that we have in there. Simba's okay. I think Simba is a B tier, but just really haven't been overly excited about those characters, really. But you do need Simba and, oh man, I can't remember what other characters you need for the Lion King event. Pocahontas, she's D tier right now. She is also has the princess tag. The only way you can get her is in the exchange. I'm working on getting her. You need 80 pieces to unlock her. Davy Jones, I like Davy Jones. I don't know what it is. I really like that guy. I use him a lot in multiple areas of the game, and I would move him up. I would probably move him to at least B tier. I think that's probably the only one that I would change on this one. And then you have your F tier, these characters here. So Woody and Jesse, you need those guys for the Toy Story event. So I would only put into them what you need. I wouldn't really worry about maxing them out. Once you get towards the end game and you have all the characters that you want, and then you can start working on some of these lower tier characters that may be good later on. There's Yzma right there, down there at the bottom as well, Hopper. And then you have the characters down there, Maui, Maleficent, Yokai, Stitch, and Zeus, and Hiro Hamada, who we haven't had an opportunity to play around with yet. So there is your full tier list. There's some thoughts on some characters on the game. Definitely worth taking a look at. And that's what I had for you today. Just a full top 10 list to discuss. And hopefully it helps you in the different aspects of the game to really get you prepared for what's coming. And then this full tier list here again. So there you go, everybody. That's what I had for you. As always, I want to thank you all for taking the time to watch the video. If you liked it, make sure to hit that like button and share your thoughts and questions in the comment section below. Take care, everybody, and we'll talk to you next time.